Today on AGetc, we have some exciting announcements from the Save Farm, starting with founder Gary LaGrange. Learn about the program and what the future holds. Next, Livestock Manager Alan Hubbard introduces us to the first set of cattle to run through their new facility. Then learn how the Merck Animal Health Cleanup with a Safeguard Sweepstakes winner donated the facility and what products were used to set these cattle up turn out. Next, we meet with Save graduate Tim Hyman and we'll end with an update from the American Angus Association. Stay with us.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Hi, I'm Gary LaGrange. I'm president and founder of the Save Farm. Actually, the whole Save program is more than a farm. It's a program that's bridging the gap between soldiers and veterans and service members that want to farm and getting on that farm. So we're really taking care of two national priorities. There are 2.3 million post 9/11 veterans and service members among us, and 40% plus want to farm. So most folks are surprised to hear that, but the services are disproportionately or overrepresented by those from farms. That's a good thing. So most of the service members that want to farm come from that background. So they have some knowledge of what they're about to get into. At the same time, 63% of all of our farms are in the last generation. So the USDA would like to produce 1 million new farmers in the next 12 years. Our job is to build the pathway from military service and being a veteran out there to getting on that farm. It was my daughter's idea 6 years ago as a clinical psychologist working with soldiers that had post-traumatic stress, brain injury, or suicidal tendencies. She decided that it would be a good idea to open a training farm for them. And since I'm from a farm background, grew up on a farm, it just seemed the right thing to do. Her idea was to do a small farm, maybe 12 or a dozen to 15 trainees at a time. And then we discovered the need was so great, so we were urged by USDA, the Veterans Administration, and others to think bigger. So what we're doing is building a farm here that will train 100 a year. And then this becomes a model for all land-grant universities. I'm so proud of what's happened today. So we're putting our first cattle out on our farm. We have 90 acres of corn. We have 40 acres of milo and 5 acres of alfalfa. We have beehives here, so now cattle will add another dimension to this farm. The end state farm here was designed by Kansas State University. Their College of Architecture over 2 years designed a residential training farm where 100 will train at one time. So from January through the middle of December each year, we'll produce 100 new farmers. We have an accredited 45-hour course that's intensive. These young men and women that come to us are ex-soldiers, ex-service members. They come with a retirement, they come with full medical care, and they simply want to farm. And they've asked us to train them as quickly as they possibly can get trained so they can get on into their next role in life. And so integration is a big part of this. So we're helping them make that transition from one culture to another. And at the same time, we're training them so that they can farm. We've integrated therapy into it for those that need therapy, and we're putting them out on succession farms. And so it's just a wonderful thing. We now have interns. In addition to our accredited course, we have interns. We have workshops. We have farm tours every week. And so we're doing all we can to introduce them to farming and getting them out there. This farm, though, is our golden thread. This is what we're leasing the land. We think we'll have it owned here within 2 months, thanks to the Nature Conservancy. And then we begin building it out. The plan that Kansas State put together has 20-acre plots of wheat, corn, milo, soybeans, and alfalfa. We have 20 cow-calf pairs and some stockers, sheep, goats, hogs, horses, and poultry. And so we also have 15 acres of produce, 15 acres of orchards. It's a heartwarming, wonderful thing to me after having served 28 years in the military and in Vietnam and seeing how that occurred when we came back, when no one really cared so much and we had a tough time integrating. Now, to help these young men and women integrate and integrate positively, to me, is just a special, special thing.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source, together we grow.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Wheat. Learn more at rediscoverwheat.org.
My name's Alan Hubbard, and I'm with the SAVE project. And we had the great fortune of having this really nice Preferred equipment given to us from Doris Olson in Oklahoma that won it on a Merck Animal Health promotional deal and had no need for it, seems how they'd moved to town. So it was sent to us, and we wanted to do a little bit of a promotional deal with Merck and Preferred, and we scheduled it for today, and it's done nothing but rain for weeks. And so we've been fighting, trying to build a facility in an abandoned old farmstead in a building that didn't even have all its roof until about 3 days ago. And we've put in 13 loads of gravel and screenings already, and we're going to have to put in hundreds of more to get it good. But we got it up and going and ready to process the first SAVE cattle that have been donated. Proposal was made to the Kansas Hereford Association to take Hereford females, and we've gotten 6 Hereford pairs now donated. And we're going to process them today and put in our SAVE ear tags and use Merck Animal Health products and worm them and give them their black leg and pink eye shots and all the things that go along with processing calves getting ready to go to grass. I came into the program about 3 years ago. They asked me if I would do a ranch tour on our place, and it impressed me with what their mission was, and I felt like they could use some real world advice. So I went to a board meeting to give them some ideas, and next thing I knew I was on the board, and now I'm highly involved. But I bring the expertise of the grass management, cattle management, and all that to the realm. We will also eventually have almost all livestock species out here. We'll have sheep and goats and pigs and chickens and all kinds of critters. And we've also started a process of fencing off a garden fence for them so they can start a garden. We'll have conventional farming practices, and we'll have no-till practice, we'll have organic practice, we'll have all different realms of agricultural practices being used in the United States now. Trying to give them a very broad spectrum of what advantages or what's out there in agriculture, and let them pick and choose and go the directions they want to after a year of being here.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well in their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but yet we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and You can always email me at Corey@SureCropFertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we'll be glad to answer it and work with you.
The new Better Horses Network is worldwide. Presented by Lucas Oil. Featuring worldwide radio and TV with iconic hosts like Al Dunning, Sharon Camarillo, Ernie Rodina, Lindy Birch, and Craig Cameron. With American Cowboy, Horse and Rider, Brushy Creek, Cavenders, and Ride TV. Worldwide radio and TV. The all-new Better Horses Network.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment brought to you by SureCrop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
Today, we're really thrilled to be here with the Save Farm and working with them on their inaugural time using this Prefert and True Test cattle handling system. We're just so excited that this Cleanup with Safeguard sweepstakes, the prize, this grand prize that Doris Olson won, has been donated to such an amazing organization that can help our service members transition into really valuable and meaningful agriculture work. We are really happy to be a part of helping the Save Farm process their cow-calf pairs to go out to grass this season. And today we brought a few products along to really try to give these cattle the best advantages that they can going out into the summer season. And so we were able to deworm them with Safeguard suspension. It's a fenbendazole, and that type of dewormer goes straight to their guts. And when they does that, that's where the parasites, the worms live and breed. So the fenbendazole is going right there to kill them. We're also, we fly tagged them, and we used a ectoparasiticide drench. And then that way they have complete parasite coverage so that they're not fighting flies and ticks and being annoyed with those parasites also. And then we vaccinated the cattle. And the vaccinations are so important, especially in challenging seasons like this year where it's really rainy, that we help protect these cattle from blackleg and clostridial diseases and tetanus and all those things. So one of the core beliefs of Merck Animal Health Works, one of them is integrity, and we really believe in supporting organizations like the Save Farm that can do training and transition work to help our service members. And we also want to get out and really do education and be hands-on with our customers so that they know what products they need to use and how they should use them.
My name is Bill Meredith, and I farm about 7,000 acres. We raise about 150 head of longhorn cattle. It was real frustrating for me to not be able to have my hands on it. When I'd come down in the morning, almost cry because my back was hurting so bad and my memory was so bad, and had been to Mayo's clinic feeling like it was nothing was happening as fast as I'd like to see it happen. My land guy come and pulled up beside me and he asked me how I was doing. I told him I wasn't doing worth a darn. He was telling me about this treatment they were doing down there in Manhattan. Anyway, we come up here and got this treatment, put some in my shoulders because I couldn't bend my head like this. I finally started getting my memory back, and I'm able to do about everything I was doing before, maybe more. I went outside and raised my hand and praised the Lord, you know.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Wheat. Learn more at rediscoverwheat.org.
My name is Doris Olson, and this is my husband, and we're from Claremore, Oklahoma, and we had the privilege of being able to donate this facility to SAVE program. And when I opened that email and saw that I really won it, I shut it and read it again, and it's like, really? Okay. And it's like, we really probably we did not have a purpose for ourselves on an active day-to-day thing, and so we started thinking about where and everything. And the very same day that I entered this contest, I was visiting with my brother, and it was at Christmas time, and he is now involved with the SAVE program as an educator, and it just like, oh, light bulbs. And we called him, and he said, oh yes, we just have gotten some land, and we do need that. And it's like, oh yes, this is how it's going to work. So I truly believe it was supposed to happen for this organization and this group of people. I mean,
visiting with Gary, how they're going to expand it. And we need more people in agriculture. And agriculture is in transitioning. We don't know for sure what, but it's transitioning.
And I visited with several of the servicemen behind as they were bringing cattle up and different things. And one of the gentlemen was telling me how he got involved in SAVE. And he said it did save his life. I mean, it was very important to him. He had gone into traditional education, as we know it, through the universities. And he said he just didn't feel like it was a fit for him, but he feels like it is now. And he knew there's a way to make money in agriculture and to be profitable, and he's excited. So that makes me excited, because that's what we believe too, that there is profit in agriculture.
What if U.S. soybean oil were an industry sensation? If end users started asking for it by name? That future is here, the time is now. To meet customer demands, the Soybean Checkoff is investing in varieties that produce oil with increased functionality. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Kim Mannering with Hardy Insurance. Today we will talk about employee safety and work comp coverage. On your farm, do you ask your friends to come help? Are they considered employees or neighbors helping neighbors? Did you know that you can be held responsible just as if it's a work comp accident? Give me a call, we can discuss. 316-945-6733.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Well, my name is Tim Hyman. I came to this program in July of 16. After my 7th deployment, I got injured in Iraq, came back to Fort Riley, and got fixed up where I was there for about 2 years. So in that 2-year span, I was basically an intern / volunteer with the SAVE program before it really got up and rolling a little bit more. First time I went out with Gary, I was probably not in the best condition. I should be 6 foot in the ground right now, but the SAVE program is what saved my life. I was a severe alcoholic. I gambled a lot. I didn't care whether I was alive or dead. But with being here at the farm, it gives me a sense of purpose. You know, this is the biggest thing with the cattle right now, is this is our first big step. And it makes me feel really good, because it allows myself and other veterans to learn from being here. And if I can save one person from being in this program, then I've made my job. I've done my job in this program. But that's not my overall goal. My overall goal is to make this grow even bigger and go to all the land-grant universities. As far as the military and agriculture side of aspects go, I mean, we do a variety of things on the SAVE farm. Beekeeping is one of them. I would never have known how therapeutic working with bees is until I got in there and started working them. They're kind of like my children. They're my little girls. You get in a hive, and if your mind is going in 10 different directions, the bees make you refocus and relate to them versus making your mind water. Then you're going to do something that you don't want to do to the bees, which is kill them. And that's one of the biggest aspects of agriculture. And another one is me being the farm manager for the SAVE program. I do all the row crops and some of the cattle. Well, now I can see my work coming up in the fields, and it makes me feel proud as not only military, but as a veteran in agriculture.
KFRM is one of the largest farm radio stations in the nation, dedicated to informing and entertaining rural listeners from northern Oklahoma to southwestern Nebraska. You can catch KFRM in many ways. Of course, 550 on the AM dial, streaming at kfrm.com, or on your smartphone by going to the TuneIn Radio app, or on Ag AM in Kansas on Tuesdays and Facebook every day of the week. KFRM, tune us in. You'll be glad you did.
Hello, I'm Dr. Frank Lyons from Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center here in Manhattan, Kansas. Daryl was one of our patients that we did about 7 months ago.
I dug trees by hand for years and years and years. In the process, I wore out my rotating cuff. But when I learned about this process, I thought if there's a way to get rid of this pain, then I want to do it. So we did it, and it worked. I'm not going to go out and take trees with a shovel anymore, but I can do the things that I want to do now.
Well, it's been very gratifying to help people with their painful joints and other entities, and it's been especially gratifying to be able to help people who I know and have worked with and known for many years.
What does a brighter, more sustainable future look like in our cities and towns, and how do we get there? When New York needed an alternative fuel source to reduce carbon emissions, the city found what it needed in biodiesel made from U.S. soybean oil.
Kim Mannering with Hardy Insurance. Today we will talk about umbrella coverage. Did you know that if your cattle get out, you could be held liable for that? Call me. Let's have a discussion. 316-945-6733.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
How do you know if the cows in your herd are getting the right nutrition? Cargill's Dusty Abney says body condition is a great indicator.
In the nutrition industry as a whole, as far as cattle nutrition goes, for years and years, we've talked over and over about protein. And protein is very important, and for a lot of people, protein is the rate-limiting nutrient in their operation. But if you've got thin cows in a time of year when they're not supposed to be thin, protein is probably not what's holding you back. In that scenario, and in a lot of different scenarios, calories, energy, that's what's holding you back when she's thin. That's what puts fat on her back. I'm not necessarily telling you I want you to have a fat cow. I want you to have a cow that's in the appropriate body condition score for your environment for the time of year that you're working on there.
Meeting each cow's caloric needs ensures her continued productiveness in the herd.
So making sure that her needs are balanced and her requirements are being met in a balanced fashion, that's really where the rubber meets the road as far as nutrition and that cow and body condition score, getting her bred, fetal programming, all that stuff comes back in to how many calories a day does she need versus how many is she getting.
On the other hand, feeding too many calories can lead to health problems, especially in heifers.
But a fat heifer does nobody any good, especially if we paid to get her fat. There's a number of different things we can have happen there. We can have a heifer that's got too much fat packed around a repro tract. That can have dystocia problems for that heifer. We can put a lot of fat into her udder, and that can mean she doesn't milk as well. She could be tough to breed because she's too fat. Those are things, none of that is what I want for anybody to have in a cow or a heifer. So we've got to find that balance.
Getting it just right makes Abney think of a scene from the Three Bears children's story.
So the Goldilocks scenario with heifers is we don't want her to be too fat, we don't want her to be too thin, we want to develop her into a cow, we want her to learn to graze, we don't want her to be dependent on the feed bunk. We want to develop the future of our herd, and most people are going to keep a heifer if they can for 10 years. That's what we'd really like, that's what we'd like our goal to be. So the decisions we make all the way back to when that heifer's in gestation inside the cow, the decisions we make for her mama for nutrition then, and then while we're developing her after we wean her, to make her into a cow, to get her bred, to put enough ribs into her and enough guts into her so she has the room and capacity to support herself and her calf. That's the Goldilocks scenario. Not too much, not too little, just right.
I'm Bob Cervera.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.